Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Spartan Nation. We now bring in for his weekly Around the World of College Football tour from the Spun.com, the greatest sports aggregate site on the web. I love it. It's part of my favorites. The grand poobah of the Spun, his name is the great Matt Hladik. Out in buddy.
Hey, I'm doing great, Hondo. Wild weekend in college football.
Okay, so now I think my title is from Spartan Nation, Sports Illustrated, host, editor-chief, and according to Mark D'Antonio, the asker of dumbass questions. Your thought, was my question a dumbass question?
I don't think it was, and I'm not just saying that because, I'm on your show. Do I think D'Antonio is going to give any type of honest answer in a press conference setting like that? No, I don't think you're going to get an answer like that, in that scenario, especially after they lost the game. However, I don't think it's a dumb question because when it comes down to it, I think it's something that it's on the minds of a lot of Michigan State fans, and it's on the minds of a lot of people nationally who followed Michigan State in the off season and what they did and didn't do, and now following this year as the offense continues to struggle. So I think it's totally irrelevant question to ask, and I think it's going to be something that comes up again when you evaluate the Michigan State program and evaluate Mark D'Antonio's future there.
I've been reporting for this summer. Since this summer, I was it's not this offseason, not just this summer. I've been reporting in detail the expectation among members of the administration have said to us in Spartan Nation they expect Mark D'Antonio to retire. I want to give you a couple of stats. I want to get your thoughts of it, okay? Mark D'Antonio, since he arrived at Michigan State, did not promise that Michigan State would win Big Ten titles every year. No one can promise that. But he did say that they would judge a successful season by whether or not they were competitive for a Big Ten title. So listen to this one. Since 2015, the Spartans have gone 15-16 in Big Ten play, in 12 games against the top four teams in the Big Ten, Ohio State, Wisconsin, Penn State, and Michigan. Over that same stretch, they're 3-9. Yet he chose to keep the same offensive staff and to just reshuffle the deck. Your thoughts on that stat?
That's a pretty, damning indictment when you hear it. It's something that when you think about it, it surprised me a little bit because I think of Michigan State, obviously, the first 2 years of D'Antonio's tenure, he's getting his feet under him. He built a program from about 2010 to about 2015 when they went to, the college football playoff. They were pretty consistent every year, if not winning the Big Ten, in the mix for the Big Ten. And he achieved basically what the peak of the program could be, I think, during that 6-year span. So those stats are really eye-opening. Obviously, they're skewed a little bit by the 3-9 season in 2016, which was an outlier for poor performance of D'Antonio. But still, you look at last year, went 7-6 with a Big Ten championship and a college football playoff caliber defense. This year, 4-3. The offense has shown no improvement. I think you've seen the last 4 years things kind of tail off under D'Antonio. And listen, I'm not just taking away from anything the guy's done at Michigan State. I'm looking, obviously Nick Saban's the most famous coach they've had since Duffy Daugherty, and the guy who's gone on to be the most successful one. But I think, would you say Mark D'Antonio's been the most successful coach since Duffy Daugherty at Michigan State? I know George Carlos had a couple of Rose Bowls, but I think D'Antonio's tenure overall has been the most successful.
Not even close. He has been, and Perlis had one Rose Bowl and won it to his credit. But yes, it's not even close. D'Antonio is. Here's the thing that I don't understand with people. I'm a free market capitalist. Now, let me say something, Matt. You know this because you've stayed in my home. You know my family. We're personal friends. Is that not true?
Without a doubt.
Okay.
No doubt.
Would you agree, and I don't want to get into politics, I am a free market capitalist. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Yes.
I have no problems with coaches. I have made the comment multiple times on public, on television, on radio, that Tom Izzo, when you look at the money he brings into this university, is way underpaid. Nick Saban, way underpaid. I think coaches should get paid what they're worth. But when you're paid $4 million a year and your assistants are paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, it's not a dumbass question to ask, why are they getting paid for being inept? Why are they getting paid for not being successful? Those are fair questions. Agree or disagree?
No, I agree. I think, again, I said it to start the show, do I expect D'Antonio to give, a full answer there in the press conference? Because I saw a lot of people saying, I love the fact you were retweeting a lot of the opinions from Michigan State fans. A lot of people were saying that was a great question. Some were saying, time and place, you're not going to get anything there, or it's not the right forum to ask that. But while I agree he's not going to probably give you his most honest answer there, I have no problem with asking a question like that and holding, a coach accountable when you look at the fan base is frustrated. The current players, I'm sure, are frustrated. Former players are frustrated. Everybody involved is frustrated, and everybody seems to be seeing what the issue is. The issue being the offense first and foremost. It was a decision that was controversial when it happened in the moments. This isn't hindsight or just second guessing when you're vision 2020. This was something that was criticized in the moment. I think it's a very fair question.
Here's the other thing, Matt, that I don't think people get. I was asked yesterday by several people, what, and by the way, would you not agree? I retweeted the people that were harsh on me too.
No, you did, definitely. I was enjoying the kind of feedback you were getting because it was showing up on my timeline.
All right. I was asked yesterday by someone, what kind of answer did you expect from D'Antonio? And if you remember my question, it was simply this. Did you make a mistake not bringing in new offensive coaches? And if you didn't, how are you going to fix it? I gave him an out. And then that's when he called it a dumbass question. I fully expected him to say, well, we don't evaluate in the middle of the year. We'll evaluate it at the end of the year. But as far as fixing it now, I haven't seen the game tape. But with a bye week, I can assure you this, no one's going to outwork us, and I expect us to be back better against Penn State. That is the answer I expected. Now, I'm going to be honest. I had several people say, hey, you know what? I hope you're doing okay. And I'm like, what do you mean you hope I'm doing okay? My son is healthy. I'm healthy. What do you mean I hope? Well, he was harsh. No. You know what? I asked an honest question. He gave me what I think was an honest answer. My question wasn't personal. I'm going to choose not to take his answer personal. I mean, it's his choice. But that was the answer I thought I would get. Now, I'm going to be honest. It was beneficial for me, the answer he gave. So I'm not mad about it at all. But I just sometimes I don't understand media, whether it's politics or news or sports. We're not cheerleaders. Listen, I want Michigan State to do well. I want Michigan State to succeed. I have no problem admitting that. But when we fail to ask tough, legitimate, real questions, we fail at our job. True or false?
I agree. I think that that's the basics of what you're there to do. And I think as long as you weren't there to track, someone in a gotcha question or embarrass D'Antonio or embarrass the program, it's a legitimate, tough, honest question. And I think that it's something, and I think it was telling that I saw a few different journalists go to bat for you on Twitter, saying that it was, a fine question to ask and saying it was legitimate. That's the test to me of whether it was, truly a legitimate question or not. Because, listen, people on Twitter, the media on Twitter, if you say something or do something foolish, you're going to get called out by your fellow peers in the media. And for them to come to you back like that and come to your defense, I think it was, a testament to the fact that what you did was just a piece of your job. You did something that you're expected to do in your role as someone covering the team honestly and fairly on a day-to-day basis. And I don't really have a problem with D'Antonio. I mean, listen, it's a viral answer, and he looks, maybe isn't his best soundbite, but I don't have a problem with him being honest, and I don't have a problem with the back and forth between coaches and writers, because I've been part of it, and we've all been part of it. We understand it. It can get tense sometimes, but you have to be able to put it behind you, and you have to be able to just go about your business.
I agree 100%. I'm not mad at him in the least bit. He is Matt Hladik from the Spun.com. I guess today we just went around Spartan football. We'll be back. Spartan football.